Hello, welcome to Easy Law Online. Ito si Attorney Rosario Chato Alivas. Meron akong mga gustong i-share sa inyo ngayon. Ito yung 12 tips on how to succeed in law school. I will give you a rundown of the 12 tips, tapos pag-uusapan natin to isa-isa. Okay, so number 1, have the right motivation. Number 2, I will discuss the magic of 10,000 hours. Number 3, learn to think like a lawyer. Number 4, take well-organized notes. Dapat maayos na maayos yung mga notes ninyo. Mula pa sa law school hanggang sa magre-review kayo for the bar. Number 5, know your learning style. Iba-iba ang ating learning style, so pag-aaralan natin ito. Number 6, never ever ever cram. Number 7, be humble. Number 8, understand before you memorize. 9, suspend most of your social life. 10, aim high. 11, face the recitations and exams head on. And number 12, maximize your 20%. So umpisahan na natin. Doon tayo sa tip number 1. Have the right motivation. Dapat alam ninyo kung bakit kayo nasa law school. Iyan yung the big why. Sagutin ninyo, why are you in law school? Why are you studying law? Ito ba ay dahil gusto ng mga magulang mo? Your parents want you to be a lawyer? O kaya meron kang magulang na frustrated lawyer? Ito, medyo hindi ako masyadong pabor dito kung bakit kayo pupunta sa law school dahil meron kayong magulang na frustrated lawyer. Huwag niyang ipasa, with due respect ha, huwag niyang ipasa ang kanyang frustration sa iyo kasi hindi ito magandang motivation kung bakit ka pupunta sa law school. O ito ba ay dahil you belong to a family of lawyers and you feel pressure na kailangan mag-abogado ka din kahit wala sa puso mo? Or the question you have to ask, do you really want to be a lawyer? Gusto mo ba talaga? Because that's most important. Alam mo, nung araw, Vice Dean ako ng De La Salle College of Law. At saka ini-interview namin yung mga nag apply para sa law school. Nakikita namin doon yung motivation ng isang tao kung bakit siya pupunta sa law school. Merong mga nagsasabi gusto nilang tumulong sa mga mahihirap, tumulong sa mga naaapi, o merong nagsabi na uh, wala na siyang magawa sa gabi. Ano siya malapit na siya mag-senior, principal siya ng isang high school, pinapatakbo na to ng kanyang mga anak. So ngayon, wala na siyang magawa sa gabi. Kaya gusto niya mag-aral ng law. Parang ginagawa niya itong hobby. Ako, naisip ko, teka, hindi ito magandang motivation. Kung ganyan ang kanyang motivation, hindi yan tatagal. And true enough, mga 2 linggo lang, nag-quit na siya kasi hindi madali ang mag-aral ng batas. If you want to study law, it must be because there is something in your heart. There's something in you that makes you want to become an attorney. So examine mo na, why are you studying law? Meron namang ibang nag-aaral, kailangan nila yung number of units para ma-promote sa kanilang opisina. If that is the purpose, then go ahead. Pero kung gusto mo ba talagang mag-practice bilang attorney, hindi ito madali. So dapat sa umpisa pa lang na-realize mo na it's not an easy thing. You study for 4 years in your undergrad to gain a bachelor's degree, and then you study for 4 to 5 years or more when you go to law school. So that's at least 9 years. Paano naman magiging madali yung pag-aaral ng 9 years? Okay? And that's 4 to 5 years of specialization in law. Okay, so isipin mo na lang, it's not and then it's not a cheap course to take. Mahal ang mga libro, and then you have to pay tuition fees. Even if you have scholarships, a 4-year or 5-year course is not cheap. And then mag-aaral ka pa for the bar, magre-review ka pa for the bar. So, understand your personal motivation. Make sure that you really want to study law, and it's not just because other people want you to do it. Now, etong tip number 2, the magic of 10,000 hours. Si Malcolm Gladwell, isang author na sumulat ng librong Outliers, sinabi niya, it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in anything. So, he observed, hindi lang siya, kasi itong book na to, it's a distillation of different ideas. Okay? So, sinabi niya na up to a certain point, talent and natural ability, they are important, whatever that is. Whether it's dancing ballet, playing the piano, or whatever it is. Up to a certain point, natural ability is good, but when it reaches a certain point, hard work is necessary. So may dadating na puntos na kahit may natural ability ang isang tao, hanggang doon lang. Kasi kailangan niyang pagsikapan at pagtrabahuhan ang isang bagay para maging expert siya in anything. And pagdating sa pag-aaral ng batas, that's what you're doing. You want to be an expert in the law and you're doing it for 4 years or 5 years. So isipin na lang natin, kung 4 years, how many hours of studies a day do you need in order to reach 10,000 hours in 4 years? Tingnan natin, no? Yung computation. So, for 10,000 hours, you divide it by 4 years, you have 2,500 hours a year. And you divide that by 365 days, you need 6.8 hours a day of studying law in order to become an expert. This is an investment of your time and effort for your future. And that 6.8 hours a day, si 365, big sabihin, kasama yung holidays, yung Sundays, at saka Saturdays. So kung gusto mo talagang maging mahusay, ibigay mo kung ano ang nararapat. Now, if you are a working student, that is a different matter. That is difficult, but you still have to take the time. Alam ko yon because I was a working student when I took up law at the UP College of Law. 5-year course ang design nila and I was a full-time employee. So, alam ko ang ibig sabihin nito. Now, I have students who are working students. Makikita ko, walang pagkakaiba yung kanilang hours na binibigay sa work nila. Kaya lang, ang pagkakaiba, yung hours na ibinibigay nila sa law school. Okay? Hindi pwedeng maging excuse, ay may ganito ako, may ganito ako sa work. I know because I was also a working student. You can always plan. You can always make a schedule. Okay? So, you have to give what it takes. And also, do not overload. May mga estudyante, full-time na yung work, kukuha pa ng 21 units. Si working student, 21 units, it doesn't make sense. Tama ba yon? Hindi. So do what is realistic. For evening programs, working students, ang kanilang program na ginagawa is 12 units per semester. So kasi yun ang kaya ng kanilang capacity ng isang tao. We are not supermen or superwomen. And so, gawin lang natin whatever we can handle, whatever our capacity will allow. Okay? But give what it takes. We have to make realistic plans, not idealistic plans. So every minute that you give to your law studies is equivalent to sowing a seed. Para kang nagtatanim ng isang binhi. You will reap a harvest at the right time. So Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 in the New Testament says, let us not become weary doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Okay? So let that be your guide. But again, be realistic. Set realistic plans. Okay? Alam niyo yung SMART goal? Okay? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay? So pag nagpaplano kayo para sa law school, sundin niyo yung SMART goal planning. Now, the third tip is learn to think like a lawyer. Anong ibig sabihin? Hindi pwedeng palipad-lipad yung ating isip. Okay? Dapat pointed. dapat logical, dapat critical. So we learn to be logical, critical, and analytical. Also, we learn to separate ourselves from the situation emotionally para makita natin yung facts objectively and so that we can make the right decision. We need to be able to weed out irrelevant facts and arguments. And this is the reason why you have to read the Supreme Court cases in the original. Huwag niyong i-shortcut. Huwag kayong magbasa ng mga digest lang dyan sa online. Okay? Basahin niyo yung original. Because this is how you will learn how to think critically and logically by analyzing the Supreme Court cases. And makikita ninyo how it is to think like a lawyer, how the Supreme Court thinks. Okay? Mai-imbibe ninyo yon. So, huwag niyong i-shortcut. May mga bagay na hindi natin pwedeng i-shortcut kasi may learning tayo na magagawa, meron tayong matututunan if we do it the right way. Sabi nga nila, di ba? Haste makes waste. So number 4, take well-organized notes. Yung notes natin, napaka-importante yan. Your notes reflect your state of mind. Meron ba kayong notes? Meron ba kayong handwritten notes? So you should take notes before, during, and after class. Before class, importante yan. Kasi dapat pagdating nyo sa klase, alam nyo na ang pag-uusapan. Hindi yung pupunta kayo sa class, doon nyo lang babasahin. O makikinig kayo sa lecture. Hindi yun mag-work. It doesn't really work like that. Because sa law, kailangan yung i-imbibe yung concepts and principles. So you take notes before class, during class, and after class. Ang pinaka-importante yung notes ninyo before class. Yung pagdating sa class, ano na lang yan, clarification na lang. And then after class, aayusin ninyo yung notes ninyo. Pwedeng lagyan ninyo ng mga additional notes sa margin or pwede ninyong i-write yung page na yon. So if you have a loose leaf notebook, mas maganda. Para kung meron kayong i-write, you will just have to change that page. And then remember, gadgets are tools. They are not methods. Hindi porke meron kang tablet, meron kang laptop, meron kang ganito, ganyan, maiintindihan mo na yung class. Because gadgets are just tools. Parang, a hammer that is used by a carpenter, it's just a tool. It will not do anything on its own. So gadgets are only as good as the persons using them. On the other hand, you need methods. You need note-taking methods. So maraming mga note-taking methods tayong makikita on the internet. One that I advise is what I used when I was in law school. Yung tinatawag na Cornell note-taking method. I-search ninyo to sa internet. It is very helpful. And then another thing about note-taking is think long-term. Isipin niyo yung notes niyo, gagamitin niyo hanggang sa pag-review niyo sa bar exam and even after. So wag lang kukuha ng papel kahit saan, isusulat, kakalimutan na, hindi aayusin, wag ganon. Think long-term. And you must handwrite your notes. Kasi maraming mga studies na nagsasabi that if your notes are written by hand, mas malakas ang retention. And that I proved to myself. And other people have proven that to themselves. Kasi dumadaan sa system mo yung ideas, yung principles, mas maintindihan ninyo. And also when you handwrite, hindi nyo kinokopya. May distillation process na nangyayari. Meron akong estudyante, pinadigest ko yung kaso. Maganda yung digest kasi kinopya, pero nung pinarecite ko sa kanya, hindi niya ma-explain. Okay? So hindi copying. Ang note-taking is not just copying. It is analyzing, it is distilling the ideas and writing it on your notebook. Okay? So anong mga ilalagay mo sa notes mo? Legal definitions, principles, grounds, elements, case digest, favorite topics of your professors. Bakit? Kasi this is an indicator of the questions that he may ask during the exam. And then you follow your course outline. Legal definitions are important. May mga law students, kopya ng kopya. Pag tinanong mo anong ibig sabihin nito, pag nag-recite siya, hindi niya alam. Kasi hindi niya tinignan yung legal definition. Ano ba naman yung pupunta ka lang sa internet, titignan mo lang anong ibig sabihin ng salitang ito. And hindi lang ganon, intindihin mo ng mabuti. Okay? There are legal principles and legal concepts that take time to understand. So, give the time necessary kasi these are foundational. Pag hindi nyo ito naintindihan, hindi nyo maintindihan yung next concept. So don't leave that idea until you fully understand it. And how do you know if you fully understand? If you can explain it clearly to another person and the other person understands what you're saying. And also, if you can write it clearly without referring to the reference material, kasi kaya mo na siyang i-explain. Okay, so take well-organized notes and don't hesitate to rewrite your notes kasi may learning process na nangyayari if you are rewriting your notes. Now, number 5, know your learning style. Iba-iba ang learning style natin. May mga visual learners, may mga auditory learners, meron yung mas natututo if they read, and then meron yung kinesthetic learners. So ano to? Yung visual learners, mas natututo sila pag nakikita nila yung pinag-aaralan. So anong bagay sa kanila? Flowcharts, infographics, mind maps. So if you're a visual learner, gumawa ka ng flowchart. Gumawa ka ng infographic para sa sarili mo. Gumawa ka ng mind map. Kung auditory learners naman, mas pwede sa yung mga lectures, mga podcast, mga discussions. Kaya yung mga group discussions, okay yan para sa mga auditory learners. Kung reader ka naman, magbabasa ka ng mga reports, mga digest, mga original decisions, mga articles and posts. And then, kung kinesthetic learner ka, ito yung you learn by doing. So, ito yung mas matututo ka pag dinemonstrate ang isang concept, simulation, reenactment, practical applications. Yan yung mga mas madaling matuto sa mga moot court na courses o kaya yung clinical legal education kasi ina-apply nila ang kanilang mga natutunan. Doon din sa internet, meron mga demonstrations, how to cross-examine your witness, how to conduct your direct examination. So you can also take a look at that if you are a kinesthetic learner. Next, never cram. Ito talaga, never cram. Importante itong rule na to. Do not think that it is going to be beneficial to you. If you cram, you will have too much information and too little time. And then kulang ka sa tulog, there will be less memory recall and you will have mental block. So pag ang estudyante sinabi sa akin, nagkaroon siya ng mental block, ibig sabihin, nag-cramming siya. Kasi kung inaral niya ng mabuti ang isang concept na naging malalim na sa kanyang isip ang tungkol sa bagay na yon, hindi siya magkakaroon ng mental block. Ang gusto niyo, magkaroon kayo ng stock knowledge, yung nandyan siya na pangmatagalan sa inyong isip. And that will not happen if you cram. That will happen as you study the principles and laws and everything that you're learning throughout the semester. Okay? Huwag niyong babaliwalain ang importansya ng pag-aaral araw-araw. And then memory aid. Use memory aids. Kailangan yan. Kaya lang, intindihin ninyo ng mabuti. So alam natin yung fame or famine, fraud, accident, mistake, or excusable neglect. Ito yung ground for new trial. Ito yung ground for motion to lift an order of default. Ito yung ground for petition for relief from judgment. Okay? Fame or famine. Yung ROVIT naman, ito tinuro sa amin, ito ng aking professor, the late Alfredo F. Tadiar, for us to remember the elements of a cause of action. So R stands for the right of the plaintiff, O stands for the obligation of the defendant, V is for violation by the defendant of the plaintiff's rights, I is injury, and D is damage. So yun yung mga elements of a cause of action. May estudyante ako, tinuro ko to. Hindi niya naalala yung ibig sabihin. Pwede ka bang pumasa pag nilagay mo yung answer na ROVID sa exam. At saka wag niyong gagamitin yung mga abbreviations na para sa mga exam, para sa sarili mo lang yon. Lalong-lalo na ang pinaka hindi ko gusto, yung WON, yung whether or not. Okay? Gamitin nyo yun para sa sarili nyo lang. But when you are answering questions in the exam, huwag niyong ilalagay yung WON because that's not a legal terminology. That's just for you. The next step is chew the lessons. Don't swallow immediately. Anong ibig sabihin? Turn it around in your head. Isipin ninyo ng isipin. Pagbali-balik rin ninyo yung concept in your mind. Mag-isip kayo ng mga iba't ibang examples just to make sure that you understand. Don't swallow it immediately. Okay? And then, interact with the material. Anong ibig sabihin? Ganun din. Pag meron kayong libro, meron siyang mga explanation, intindihin ninyong mabuti. You compare. Bakit iba ang sinabi ng Supreme Court dito sa decision na to compared sa other decision na to when they are talking about the same thing? You compare. You understand the details. Okay? Naalala ko yung professor ko, si the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, sabi niya, lawyers win based on the details. Okay? So dapat, wag niyong i-overlook yung mga details. Kaya nga dapat basahin niyo yung mga original ng mga Supreme Court cases, hindi yung rely ng digest sa internet. Malay niyo, tama ba yung digest na yun? Baka naman, pinasa-pasa yung digest, kinopya-kopya, iba na yung sinabi later sa later digest. So, keep yourself alert and go to the original. When you are finally lawyers, if you become lawyers someday, you will have to prepare memoranda, court submissions, and the best way is to rely on the original source. Hindi kayo magre-rely sa mga digest. Hindi pwede yun. O sanayin na ninyo yung sarili ninyo. Dito pa lang sa law school na magbasa based on the original. Next, be humble. Nako, napaka-importante nito. As a law student and even as a lawyer, always be humble because you do not know everything. We do not know everything. So Romans 12, chapter 3 says, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but consider yourself with sober judgment. Be clear about your identity and your position. Hindi naman sinasabi dito na put yourself down. Just consider yourself. Ano ba talaga yung level ng iyong ability? Okay? Be humble. And then also, napansin ko yung mga iba lang may mga legal management graduates, may mga political science graduates na pumupunta sa law school, akala nila alam nila lahat. Hindi. Okay? It doesn't make you better just because you were graduates of these courses. Because these courses have nothing to do with law. Legal management is a management course. Political science is not a law-related course. So it doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you better. Now, strengthen yourself where you are weak. Kung mahina ka sa English, mag-focus ka doon. Kasi yun ang ginagamit natin na lingwahe sa ating bar exam, sa ating korte, okay, sa ating mga kontrata, English. So be humble enough to strengthen yourself in this. Nakakagulat, may mga estudyante ako. Hindi nila ma-express ang sarili nila sa English. Well, you're supposed to be an advocate. You're supposed to speak up on behalf of others. How can you speak up for others if you cannot speak up properly? So do it right. Start with yourself. Improve yourself wherever it is necessary for purposes of being equipped as a lawyer. Now, number 8, understand before you memorize. Yung iba, memorize ng memorize. Tapos pag pina-explain mo, hindi ma-explain. Kahit sabihin kong Tagalogin mo, hindi matagalog. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila naiintindihan. Now, we law professors, we don't train parrots. We train problem solvers. You cannot solve a client's problem by reciting the law. Hindi pwedeng sabihin, attorney, binugbog ako ng asawa ko. Hindi pwedeng i-recite yung batas sa kanya. You have to give information and advice that will help your client arrive at a decision on how the problem can be solved. Okay? So, know the law. There are answers. Ito, nagugulat ako minsan sa eksama ng mga law students, nag-iimbento. Akala ba nila, hindi namin alam. Siyempre, alam namin na nag-iimbento sila at napaka-obvious naman. Whether sa exam or sa recitation, don't invent. It will be taken against you. Lalo na sa bar exam. Lalo na, hindi ka pwedeng mag-imbento ng sagot because there are answers. There can be a different kind of legal reasoning, but there are answers, there are factual considerations, at merong legal basis which you must always give and which you must always rely on. Okay? Next, suspend most of your social life. Yung mga ibang law students, party ng party, attend ng mga ganito-ganyang extracurricular activities. Yung alam kong masyadong active sa kanilang extracurricular activities, kung gusto nilang mag-excel sa law school, binibitawan nila yung pagiging active na yon kasi kailangan ng oras para sa pag-aaral ng batas. Now, I mean the faculty members, hindi kami nai-impress when students are involved with a lot of extracurricular activities. Rather, iniisip namin, teka, committed ba to talaga sa law school? O gusto niya extracurricular activities na lang? Okay? Give what it takes because you don't want to waste money and time. Yung money na pinaghirapan mo, na ginamit mo para mag-aral ng batas, don't waste it. Lalo na yung pera na pinaghirapan ng magulang mo para makapag-aral ka sa law school, don't waste it. Okay? Be a responsible steward of the resources that God has given you, whether that is time, whether that is money, or other resources. A law student's job is to study. Okay? Kaya nga student, your job is to study. A working student ka nga, pero law student ka pa rin. So your job is to study. Okay? Now, you have to make hard decisions. Number 10, aim high. You're in law school because you want to succeed. Therefore, do what is needed to succeed. May mga tinatanong ako, kamusta na? Mag-graduate ka na ba? Sabihin nila, hopefully, I will pass. Hopefully, I will graduate. Bakit hopefully? Pag tinanong ko yun sa beginning of the semester, ganun pa rin ang sagot. Hopefully. Bakit ka nang hope? Ba't hindi mo gawin ang dapat gawin para pumasa ka? Surely, if you study well, you will pass. And that's your goal. Kung hindi, huwag ka na mag-aral ng law. Kung hopefully lang ang iyong plano. Okay? Mag-aral ka ng law because you are determined to pass. And then, don't be half-hearted in your studies. Don't just survive in law school. Yung sinasabi, ay nakaka-survive ako sa law school. Ano mo pag sinabing survive, pag iniisip ko, yung naghihingalo, yung nasa ospital, yung maraming mga gadgets na naka-attach sa katawan at hindi na siya makatayo, yun ang survive. Gusto mo bang maging ganun ka sa law school? For me, wag na lang. Wag ka na mag-law school. Kung gusto mo lang mag-survive, gusto natin mag-succeed ka. Okay? Kaya ka nag-law school, gusto mong mag-succeed. Hindi lang mag-survive. Okay? So you can be victorious by being disciplined, by being organized, okay? By being determined. Now let's go to number 11. Face the recitations and exams head-on. Okay, sa recitation at sa exam, make sure that you express, not impress. Don't use unnecessary phrases, yung mga in my humble opinion, it is my position, tapos gagamit kayo ng mga legalese, hindi na po yun uso ngayon. Plain English na ngayon ang tinuturo namin sa legal writing. Okay? So, huwag nyo nang lagyan ng mga palabok na ganun. And to me, pag yung mga estudyante ang daming pasakali bago sabihin yung sagot, nag-iisip siya kasi hindi niya napag-aralan o hindi niya alam o kaya nagpapa-impress siya. Kasi kung alam niya ang sagot, sasagutin niya ng diretso. Okay? Now, pag nag-aaral ka, pag-aralan lahat ng topics para sa exam na yon. Don't skip any topic. Pag-aralan lahat. And don't wish that certain topics will not be covered or you will not be called to recite. Or when you are called to recite, hindi itatanong yung topic na yon. Baliktarin ninyo yung isip. Sabihin ninyo, etong topic na to, tatanungin. Pag tinawag ko ka sa recitation, baka tanungin ang topic na to, kaya pag-aaralan ko to. Etong mahirap na tanong na to, tatanungin ako ng teacher ko sa recitation at saka sa exams. Kaya pag-aaralan ko lagi. You must anticipate and you must prepare. And when you are studying, kung alam nyo na, huwag na kayo mag-focus doon. Kasi alam nyo na, mag-focus kayo doon sa mga hindi nyo naiintindihan ng subjects. At huwag nyong iwanan hanggang naiintindihan ninyo. Kasi it might be possible that hindi nyo na yon mababalikan later on. Ngayon, pag pinag-aralan ninyo ng mabuti, that will go deep into your mind na kahit kailan maaalala ninyo yung sagot. Okay, and number 12, maximize your 20%. Merong business principle na tinatawag nilang Pareto principle or also the 80-20 rule. 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. So for example, if you study for 10 hours, 2 hours or 20% will produce 80% of the results. So mag-focus kayo dun sa 20% na yun. Yun yung pinaka-productive segment ng iyong pag-aaral. And then make your environment conducive. Alisin ninyo mga cellphone, i-turn off ninyo. Hindi yung naka-open yung cellphone dyan. Kapag may tumunog, titignan ninyo, hindi kayo makaka-focus doon. Okay? So, alisin ninyo, i-off ninyo, turn off your social media, and you must focus on what you are doing. Okay? Meron tinatawag na Pomodoro technique. You study for so many minutes, and then mag-alarm ka, and then for a few minutes, you stop. You do something else. You exercise, you rest, and then bumalik ka na naman for so many minutes. Look at it on the internet. In fact, meron pang ang online Pomodoro timer. Okay, so gamitin nyo yun. That is very helpful. Alright? So, recap natin. Ito yung mga pinag-usapan natin. Have the right motivation. Spend the necessary number of hours. Okay? Learn to think like a lawyer. Take well-organized notes. Know your learning style. Never, ever, ever cram. Be humble. Understand before you memorize. Suspend most of your social life. Aim high. Face the recitations and exams head-on. And maximize your 20%. Okay? So, hanggang dito muna tayo. I would like to share my favorite Bible verse with you. Do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with God. Micah chapter 6 verse 8. Itong do justice na to, this has to do with what we talked about now. Do justice to yourself, to your studies. Do justice as you train to become an attorney. So this is Attorney Chato Olivas of Easy Law Online, simplifying law and empowering you. I will be seeing you next time.